Hope you're well, hope all is good with you, and welcome to your Sunday evening roundup of how the mindset works. And this week the topic is actually the mind. So good evening to Instagram, good evening Facebook, how you doing? I hope you're well, hope all is good. So as you jump on, say hi, let me know where you are, and we will get started. So I hope you're well. Hi Safa, hi lovely. So yes, right, okay, so like I say, this week we've been talking about the mind, and this week has been interesting. There's been a few little testing moments in my world, which I'll share at some point, but right now I'll just let you know that it's been a little bit of a testing week. But what's interesting and how we move forward is how we choose to view it, okay? So we can view it from a place of, hi Daniel, hi Kate. We can view it from a place of stress and anxiety and worry, or we can view it from a place of like, okay, what am I learning? What's the blessing in this? And that is something that I want to start with today. So we've got about 15-20 minutes. So if you've got any questions as I'm talking, just tap them in and I will answer them for you. And if they're personal, then just please feel free to message me, and I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Okay, right. So, like I say, when we think about the mind, quite often we think about, are we busy? Are we stressy? Are we messy? Are we unsettled? Are we not particularly calm? The mind can be two things. It can be either the way that it is or the way that you choose it to be. Okay, now if it's the way that you choose it to be, you've got that choice of what emotion it's actually going to be. So just saying hello again. Hi there. So think about, what is it that you want from your mind? If you decide that it's always going to be unsettled and stressed, then it will be. If you decide that you're going to do your best to be calm, then guess what? It will be too. Okay, so it's almost like perspective. Now, the perspective of how you view something can actually start to make a difference on how your mind actually works. Now, if you view something from a place of being calm and more understanding, then things will change for you. Now, what I want you to understand is, if we focus on ourselves first and the way that we feel from the inside, first of all, things are going to make a difference. Things are going to be different for you. If we can focus from on ourselves and what we think and what we feel. Hi Rach, how are you, lovely? And what we think and what we feel, then you're going to be coming from your core values, from what actually makes sense to you from the inside, okay? Now, the one thing that I want to say, and I've written some notes here to guide you as well, is the only thing that you ever really need to be is yourself, okay? The only thing you ever need to be is yourself. If you work from a place of being completely true to yourself, you're going to be more comfortable from within in the actual first place. Great, Rachel, I'm getting there. Good, I'm glad, lovely. Lots of love. So if we really focus on being ourselves, Rachel, this will speak to you. So if we stay in what I call my own lane, the way that you want to be, the way that you want to feel, and work on those true values, then really you're on a winning streak straight away. Okay, right. Now, I have a group, my Facebook membership group. Now, in that, we have lots of amazing people, lots of amazing ladies. Hi, Marie. How are you, lovely? Lots of amazing ladies. And they all have their own situations that they're actually dealing with. And there is an amazing lady on there, and for some reason Sundays just isn't her day. Okay, she's always struggled with Sundays, and I know she won't mind me saying this. Today was different for her. Today was a different day because she chose to look at it from a different perspective. She chose to look at today as a day to do things, to be things, to go places, to get out in the fresh air and do what she doesn't normally do, which is just not enjoy the day. So the difference is her outlook was different from that. Her perspective was different on it. The same day, it was still Sunday. It was still her, the same person. It was just the way that she viewed it that was different. And if we view things from a different place other than the ones that we're used to, then things do start to change. If we view things from the places where we've always been upset, we've been sad, we've been depressed, we've been anxious, then things will stay the same. But if we gradually just start to tweak things differently, even just by going for a walk, by just doing something different, things will start to actually turn around. Hi there. Okay, so what I want you to think about is, for every negative thought, there is always going to be a positive thought. Now, perhaps you've seen this little exercise that I have put up on stories, but I want you to acknowledge it. Okay. What I want you to do, and write this down if you want to so you remember it, what I want you to do is, for every negative thought you have, I want you first of all to be aware of that. If that negative thought is pulling you down, okay, that's the easiest way to identify, because sometimes we get in that habit of just not realising what we're thinking about. It's very easy to do, and it's very easy to stay in that situation. But if you're aware of your energy dropping, or you're feeling sad, or you're feeling anything that doesn't make you feel good, that's derived from some form of negative thought that we've allowed ourselves to get into a habit about. And I don't want you, hi Denise, and I don't want you to kind of beat yourself up about it. I don't want you to think, oh, I'm always doing this. Don't think about that. Just always think about the awareness of the feeling that you have with the thoughts that you've got. Now, with the feeling that you have, if it's pulling you down in any way, shape or form, I want you to choose 3 positive thoughts to replace it. 3 positive thoughts that can counteract it, okay? Now, that could be, for an example, you might be feeling fed up, okay? Now, the opposite of fed up is to be happier. So what would 3 positive thoughts be that could make you feel happier? Maybe it's thinking about a member of your family. Maybe it's thinking about, I don't know, even your favourite food. Maybe it's thinking about something that you really love doing. But those 3 thoughts will straight away counteract and neutralise. Hi Nikki, how are you? Counteract and neutralise that one negative thought you have. Now, by doing 3 thoughts as opposed to 1 thought, what you're doing is you're overriding that negative activity. Okay, and by doing the 3 things, you're repeating 3 things that are positive as opposed to 1 thing that's negative. Now, the key to changing your mind and changing your mindset is to actually repeat things that benefit you, situations that benefit you. Now, I can see on here there are some new people, but there are some people that are watching on Instagram and on Facebook that have got into the habit of watching this at 8 o'clock on a Sunday evening. I'm in the habit of 8 o'clock on a Sunday evening. And we never used to be, did we? So what we've done is we've formed a new habit. We've found some repetition of something that actually benefits you, and therefore we are starting to make some changes. And the messages I have had back just from a few people watching these lives, doing nothing else that I do, have been impactful. Their lives and their mindsets have started to change. So by doing things, overriding the negativity, hi Louise, overriding that negativity by doing more, 3 things, than the negative, then you are going to just make those small steps just to start turning things around. And I encourage you to keep doing that, okay? So with that, what I want you to think of, and this is one of my favourite quotes, okay? This is from a guy called Thomas Troward. I spoke about this on my happiness class and my groups this week. So, your mind is the centre of all activity, always for expansion and renewal. Hi Louise, your mind is at the centre of activity, always for expansion and renewal. So your mindset can take you everywhere. Your mindset, we're constantly, oh bless you Safa, thank you. Your mindset is constantly getting bigger. It's constantly starting to change, but it's your choice whether you change it this way or this way. So if your mind is the centre of all operation, we need to give it some healthy tips, we need to give it some understanding, and we need to give it some care and some nurturing as well to make sure that it's at its optimum. Now, it's not always easy to stay in your optimum mindset. We've got to look after ourselves. So first of all, we need to think about setting intentions, okay? Setting intentions of what it is you want to be, or what you want to do, or what you want to have. And by doing that, straight away, you're giving yourself food for thought. You're giving yourself something different to what maybe your mindset has been ingrained or programmed with from past experiences, from upbringing, from all those things. Sorry, my dog's decided to bark. Okay, so think about this. Okay, what are your intentions? Every Sunday night, my Breakfast Boost ladies, we set intentions for what the week ahead is going to be. So maybe it's just to get up on time. Maybe it's to override those thoughts with those 3 positive thoughts. Maybe it's to make sure that you have an earlier bedtime. Maybe it's to eat more healthily. Maybe it's to drink more water. Whatever it is, whatever your intentions are, it's about doing and setting something that's actually going to benefit you, something that maybe you struggle to do or something you really need to get done. So it could be just finishing off some work. It could be sending that one email that you need to send and you keep putting it off. So set some intentions for the week ahead, and that will straight away focus your mind. It will really focus your mind on where you want to be rather than where you are, especially if it's not serving you. And if things are ticking along for you and everything's going great for you, make sure you still set those intentions. One of the biggest misconceptions is when everybody feels good, we stop. Okay, we stop thinking we need to tap into something. We stop doing our writing. We stop worrying or focusing on, worry is probably not the right word, but we stop focusing on the good stuff, what I call the good stuff, because our energy is up. That, can I tell you, is the most crucial time to keep things going. Not, I'm fine today, I don't need to do this. I'm fine today, I need to keep building up on what I've already got. And if we keep building, hi Jonathan, if we keep building up on what we've already got, then guess what? Things are going to keep escalating to the place where we want to be, not from the place where we don't want to be. So where focus goes, energy grows. What you think about, you bring about. So make sure that when you are in your best place, make sure you keep tapped in. Don't think about the stuff you don't want. Keep tapped into the things that you do want. Never say, I'm fine now, because guess what? We are always for expansion and renewal. So if we're always expanding and renewing, we need to give energy to the expansion and renewal that's going to build us, not going to pull us down. Because if we're dipping down, our mind is full of it. I've lost in my words. Our mind is full of for expansion and renewal. Then we're going to expand and renew the negativity, not the good stuff. Does that make sense? Okay. Let me know if that makes sense. Give me some likes. Give me some hearts. Give me some floaty hearts on Instagram. If you don't understand this, 2 things. Ask me some questions. Message me 3 things, or watch this back. Okay. Remember, your mind is for expansion, renewal all the time. You've just got to decide which way. Is it spiraling upwards or is it spiraling? That's the important thing. Thanks, Denise. Okay, right. Like I say, repetition is the key. Repetition is the key to changing anything. Now, if you're confused with that, what am I talking about? What I want you to do is, thank you guys, what I want you to do is take yourself back to something that you never ever used to know how to do. Take yourself back to, let me have a little think, maybe starting your first job when you were younger, maybe going to your first day at a new college or a new school. Think of something that you never did before, training to do something, and you didn't know how to do it. Now, gradually, you'd go in, you might feel a bit nervous, you might even feel excited, because remember, excitement and fear are the same energies. So you might have felt a bit of nervousness and a bit of excitement. You didn't know how to do something. Gradually, what you started to do was each day you'd add to what you didn't know. But then one day you'd add to something that you did know. And then the next day you'd add something more to what you knew. And gradually your knowledge would start to actually grow and grow and grow. And by growing consistently, what you were doing is repeating something that actually started to benefit you. And you were training your mind how to do something. And your mind would then, with what you knew, it would take through to your emotions and it would take through to your actions. And your results were you were retraining yourself by repetition to do something that benefited you. So if you think about this from a place of consciousness and place of awareness, a place of what you know, you're going to be more aware of how you can start to change your mindset. So if your mind is in a certain place and you really find that it's not benefiting you, then I invite you to just start to do something each day gradually and liken it to something that you've already done. Starting school, starting a job, riding a bike, even learning to walk. If you liken it to something you've already done, you'll realise that it is possible. Something that you never thought you would do. For example, you came into this world not being able to really move. You didn't even crawl. But guess what? You're now moving around like any other human being. Now, when you were a baby, you would never have thought that you'd be able to be climbing mountains, you'd be able to be riding a bike, you'd be able to walk. All those things that you never thought you could do just from being a child, you can now do. So therefore, that's proof that it's it's possible to change your mind, to adapt, to do something. And it doesn't have to be a physicality. It doesn't have to be physical. It's about believing in yourself up here that you can do something. Last week we had an amazing breakthrough with somebody. They're watching on Instagram. They had an amazing breakthrough. They stepped out of their comfort zone, and it was incredibly hard for them to get to that point, but they stepped through that barrier, and guess what? That barrier wasn't even there. It was completely invisible. But because they'd worked on their confidence through some of the information that I've been sharing with you, they stepped through and made a massive personal breakthrough, which was incredible. So it just shows that just by repetition, things will start to change. Okay, right, now a couple of little pointers. I've got some little notes here. Okay, what I want you to understand is nurture is key to changing your mindset. The more we give energy to something, the more we are nurturing something. The more we are nurturing something, the more we are taking on board, and it's going to become an ingrained habit. It's going to be a programming. So the important thing is to understand is, what are you giving energy to the most in your life? What are you ingraining in your life? Is it something that's actually going to benefit you, or is it something that actually you've just got in this habit of torturing yourself, of pulling yourself down, of not making yourself feel too good? Let's use real basic terms here. Are you feeling rubbish and messy and stressy, or are you feeling happier, calmer and lifted? The choice is there. We're like a set of scales. We can go whichever way we want. But by nurturing ourselves and our mindset, we are only going to create the best stuff to work for yourself. It's going to lift you, it's going to calm you, and it's going to reduce that messiness and that stressiness that, let's face it, we all get sometimes. We all get it. So it's so important to nurture you. Okay, now points I've mentioned already. Plenty of sleep. Sleep is the key. Now, I had quite a late night last night. Like I say, things have been a little bit upside down in my world this week. But literally this afternoon, I took myself to bed. I went to sleep. Simple as that. Just to rebalance myself and get some energy and give myself a chance, okay? And I'm fine, okay? I'm still tired, but I'm fine because I allowed this to switch off. If we don't sleep enough, if we don't find a way of sleeping, then our mind is going to get more chaotic and busier, because when we're tired, we're not able to focus on one thing at one time. What we tend to do is we jump from this to this to this to this to this to this, and our mind gets so busy. And if our mind is busy, it's using up an awful lot of energy. Okay, so have a little focus on that as well. Think about hydration. We need plenty of water. Water is highly, highly needed, and it's very much underrated. So really focus on drinking 2 to 3 litres a day. That way you're going to keep your mind completely hydrated. Your nutrition, it's all the things that we used to get told when we were little. All that nutrition, the food that we eat, is going to help our mindset. If we eat something we know is great for us, guess what? We're going to feel happier and we're going to feel more comfortable that this food is good for us. If we turn to something that doesn't make us feel so great, or isn't actually as healthy as it could be, straight away you're eating something you think, all right, no, I shouldn't be eating this, but... So what's happening? The energy dips. Whereas if you eat something that is really substantial and really nutritious, guess what? You're going to know subconsciously that you're eating to the best of your ability, and straight away things are going to lift, okay? The same goes with exercise. Are you exercising regularly? Are you taking any form of exercise in any way, shape or form? It could be going to the gym. It could be going for a walk. It could be, if you've got stairs, just walk up and down the stairs 10 times. Something as simple as that is going to shift your energy. And again, you're going to know subconsciously that this is helping you. So therefore, your mind is going to gain some strength from that. Does that make sense? So again, these tiny little tweaks are all there to actually start to help you. Okay, now, a couple of little things. Few little tips to take away. Okay, mindset tips. Okay, organise your day. Number one, just organise your day. Start setting those intentions of how you want your day to be, how you want your week to be. What is it you need to get done? What is it that you can push away that isn't benefiting you, that isn't an emergency? Okay, so literally organise your day. Okay. Exercise, which I've already mentioned. Get your energy moving, literally get your body moving, and that will make your mindset stronger. Excuse my dog, I will have to go and let him out in a second. Okay, and the other thing is keep learning. Keep learning the things that are good for you, because every time we are going to something that isn't good for you, that isn't benefiting you, that's pulling you back, you're learning how not to do something. So therefore, if you're learning how not to do something and you're learning how to keep in a state of mind that isn't benefiting you, then let's try and twist it around, tweak it and bring it over to something that is benefiting you. So that's tuning into these lives, tuning into positive live feeds, tuning into positive notes on Instagram or Facebook, reading something that actually benefits you. And when I say read a book, you don't have to read the whole book in one go. You can just pick up a book, open it up, and wherever you open it up, it's meant to be there. And you will gain some information from it, some positive, uplifting information, self-development. You could even just read a book that helps you to switch off for a little while. There's all these ways of really strengthening your mindset without thinking you have to make these great big changes. If you want to, that's absolutely fine. But if you don't, these small changes are going to serve you and are going to benefit you. And small, consistent changes are going to lead to bigger, permanent changes that uplift you and uplift your mindset. Okay, right, so that's our live feed concluded for tonight. Now, the topic of the week moving into Valentine's week is going to be about love, and it's going to be about self-love. So stay tuned into that. And it is my birthday month, so it's my birthday on the 20th. And as that's a big one, I'm going to be 50, and I said it publicly again. As I'm going to be 50, I am sharing my ebook with you. So the link will go up. If you haven't already downloaded it, I would encourage you to download it, because there is some amazing free information in there with a special bonus at the end. So read through to the end and you could gain from this too. Thanks, Denise. Oh, I can see somebody else I know. Hello. And also, if you are thinking and wondering about Breakfast Boost Club for the month of, I am Jonathan, for the month of February, as it's my birthday and it's a bit of a biggie one, I am offering you a 25% discount for 3 months on Breakfast Boost, okay? So rather than £27 a month, it will be £20.25. So ladies, if you are interested in that, then please do let me know. The links will go up, okay? Remember, we can reduce, or we can add to 3 months with 3 months of positivity against the 1 month that maybe that you had. Okay, so there's plenty there for the taking. There's plenty there. I'm feeling very generous this month. There's plenty there for the taking. Thanks there. So take it easy. Have an amazing week. Have your best week. And remember, stay tuned in. Remember, it all starts with your thoughts. Thoughts do become things, and you can be, do, and have whatever you want. So I'm Lisa Hawkyard, the mother of all coaches, and I am here, get the words right, to guide your mindset, to empower you. So take care. Thanks, Denise. Yep, Denise has been on since the beginning. We've been going for about 2 years now, haven't we? So if you're interested, major changes just from 10 minutes a day, as much or as little as you want, okay? So take care, have an amazing evening, and thanks, Nikki. Thank you so much, and I will speak to you again. Take care, and I'll see you next week.